such a stupid asshole? Would you really like to know? Well, here you see. Remove your clothes and the vet will show you how. You went to school where you were taught to fear and to obey. Be cheerful, fit in, or someone might think you're weird. Life can be perfect. People can be trusted. Someday I will fall in love. A nice, quiet home of my very own. Free from all pain. Happy and having fun all the time. It never happened, did it?
The choppiness. I don't know how much you care, but sorry that you have to go to the park to do this.
Oh no, it's fine. I just chose the gas station because it's like farther away from where I live. I can, if I'm at the park, I don't, people come back by walking their dogs and I'm talking about you know,
Like Q.
I'm talking about on, yeah,
Fair enough.
pretty much. So at the
Hon-
gas station, I feel a little bit more comfortable. People don't know me out here.
Honestly,
Go-
I should just go record at the park and like get out there a little bit more. Whoa, was that like an auto zoom thing? What the fuck just happened there?
I don't know.
Did you just see me zoom in right there? Yeah,
Oh
what the
yeah,
fuck?
I didn't know you could do that.
I guess Zoom must have updated, but holy shit. Well, it's good to see you, bub. I've been
Yeah.
oh hell yeah, smoking a little cigarette right there. Was that a Camel?
Oh no, this a pencil. I had to.
Oh
I'm
shit.
taking a day off to nicotine every week now. I try to do not a maybe sometimes I take a day off food, take a day off nicotine, take a day off caffeine. Not really, you know, just to be healthy, but mostly because I'll start to like feel sick and tell myself I have cancer, or like I get like a sore throat. I think it's just my lymph nodes. I think I do too much alp, you know,
Hmm.
and have
Yeah.
an issue. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be like healthy for a day. And once in a while, I'll just start to be like, oh, I don't feel good about stuff, and it's like, well, you gotta take a day. You gotta take a day off. Remember Allah in your fast. Be grateful, and then go back into the week. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Inshallah.
The the coming of the Technate, the Mark of the Beast system is coming. It doesn't really matter if you feel good or not. You gotta get up. You gotta go. Fucking God, pal. And you gotta
You
go.
got to go hard,
Yeah,
even especially when you feel bad, because that's
yeah,
the true test. That's the true test right there. Is like when you feel like shit, you got to go hard. I definitely had the no caffeine days, and I'm having the no THC days, and I feel wonderful. I feel wonderful.
I think that's a
I think
move.
I think that's the best thing I could have done for myself is not only financially, but like spiritually, just stop smoking the ganja.
Yeah, on to more productive drugs. You
Yeah,
know.
on the greener pastures. I've kind of been weaning myself off like I'm a child, so I've just been hitting the vodka pretty hard.
Mm.
Um, but the difference between that is like, especially on now that I have to go to work like evening shifts, I have like the whole day to myself. I obviously still wake up around 7 o'clock every day, sometimes nine, but I still have the whole day. And usually, what I would do is I would just smoke all day. You know, every like 2 or 3 hours, I'd roll up a joint, smoke it down, and that's not good for anybody. The other day, I was doing the dishes, cleaning up the kitchen real thoroughly. I was like, dude, if I would have smoked a joint this morning, I'd still be on the couch just uh, serving myself up those Instagram reels.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, I felt pretty good. And another thing that happened too that day is I was like cleaning the top of the fridge, and I found half a joint up there. And I was like, ooh, there's a decision. You could either smoke half of this, you could either smoke this half a joint right now and go chill, or you could just put it away. Don't even think about it. And that's what I did. I put it away,
Oh
kept
yeah.
scrubbing, kept scrubbing those floors. But it felt pretty good. And I feel really good, especially the only thing is just with like sleep. Even as a kid, I couldn't really fall asleep that well. So,
Mm.
with dinner, you just have a couple beers or you have a couple shots, and that'll put you to bed real nice around the time that you're supposed to be going to bed.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's kind of absurd, but I know it's just something that happens to a lot of people who are
Hmm.
like more addicted to weed than I am. Is like you stop smoking the weed, you start hitting the bottle a little bit. But
Yeah.
at least it's not like like the end of last year where it's like hitting the bottle at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon and then just listening to Steely Dan letting out a couple fucking tears. No, I feel in a really good mood and I feel ready to get back into a schedule that's productive.
Yeah.
So hey, it's one small step, honestly, but that's all you can take sometimes is small steps.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to be patient with it. That's
Yeah,
you're gonna if you're gonna like change into a whole new guy overnight. It's not really like changing into anything productive. That's just being delusional.
yeah, and it's not really like what's the word, like possible to do. You're not gonna tilt the world off its axis in one night.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely that would be like the main thing going back if I had just been a little bit more patient with everything. Gave myself and everybody else a little bit more time and waited things out, and been a little bit less aggressive with my decisions. But it could go the other way too. You could that's that's a kind of a tough balance to find. You gotta be patient with it. But
Honestly, yeah, it's like we talked about it before. Every day is a step closer to the glorious future,
yeah,
and it's not something that you're ever gonna achieve 100%. It's just an everyday endeavor. Keeping up the status quo.
yeah, the way
But
yeah, yeah, I guess the way I worded being patient and all that, that sounded kind of
mhm.
like abstract and out there. But I think what what I need to work on doing is like getting my ideas like way back a couple hundred years ago. If you could get your ideas down to like you could say something that was like really powerful in like two sentences, they're like, this is the guy right here.
Yeah,
Now people write like 3 pages, you know, people write whole articles and stuff. It's like you got to really distill it down if you want to get it out to people and have it usable in an everyday kind of way. Like have it applicable in multiple areas and have it
mhm.
um uh I mean you could kind of translate I guess that to like anything in life. Like recently I was thinking about uh the you know investing and all that. And you know, the best advice isn't like what, indicators to use and all this detailed stuff. It's like what is actually something you can that's
It's like
the the simplest bits of advice are actually the most like applicable for most people. So I guess when
yeah.
I'm like a lot of times I'll be trying to get some information out to somebody who just doesn't uh isn't interested in it to the level that I'm at. And I need to start like dumbing things down, not dumbing things down, but not because people need them dumbed down, but because they don't have the time to get into some things at the level that we are. I think that's what like
Mhm.
anyway, I'm getting off on a whole thing now, but I think
No,
that's what the people that really um are able to get to a big level do really well. Like that's what Shane Gillis does really well. He conveys these ideas that are like right kind of above the majority of most people's minds that they like can't put together. But, like that's what a lot of good comedians do is like put that into something that like everybody can understand and relate to,
Yeah.
and it
I,
make things way simpler than they are and distill it down to like a couple sentences. Like that's what
yeah.
the really smart people are doing is like making it, like refining it and making it so everybody can understand it.
Yeah, throwing it out almost like a one-liner.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's kind of what I try to do is keep it concise and just hit the hammer on the head and just like drive the point in as best you can, honestly, instead of like dilly-dallying, beating around the bush.
Yeah.
Speaking of Shane Gillis though, dude, I was listening to that like I don't know if it was Matt and Shane's podcast or it was War Mode, but the payment episode, it was on the War Mode pod YouTube. Just Shane talking about payment the whole time and like Moloch and Baal, like all these like demon kings and shit. I was like,
Oh,
dude, this
I
just to
didn't even
piss just
with
to
that.
piss off Billy. Uh, but I was like, dude, this motherfucker's compromised, bro. You can't because I watched that movie they were talking about where this cult was like trying to summon Payman, the demon. I was
Hey,
like,
I'm
holy shit, dude. I stayed up for a couple hours after that. I was like, dude, I'm fucking terrified right now. I don't know if this some kind of lesser demon is gonna attack me right now. But
what was it called?
Hereditary,
Hereditary.
it's
Oh, the
like,
movie or something.
yeah, I just watched it and I was like, holy shit, dude, I'm
Oh,
fucking terrified right now, dude. I don't want Payman to come after me.
is it a real thing? Like a
Well,
or not a real thing, but is it a historical? You know, maybe it's a real thing, but it
yeah,
historical
Payman.
of a thing.
Yeah, so Payman is like he's one of the eight kings of hell. And this is all weirdly Jewish, like weirdly like the Cabal or
It all
The Kabbalah and like Solomonic um magic talks a lot about Payman
I like it.
and all these other guys.
I'm into it.
Strangely Jewish, coincidentally Jewish, maybe. But
This
yeah,
is
so
why.
this is some real shit. And honestly, I don't know. I think if ghosts and demons are real and can interact with us on the human plane, this is something I've been thinking about a lot. As long as you're not scared, as long as you're just like an alpha male and you're like, look, I exist. I exist in the material world. You're just kind of floating in, right? I've gained. I used to look up a lot of stuff about Solomonic magic and how he had that ring and he could control demons. And
Mhm.
now it's like, dude, if a demon tried to attack me like that or gaslight me, I think I could make a demon my bitch or my servant. Sorry, I was thinking about this earlier. I don't want to cuss as much on the podcast. I throw around too many cuss words.
Yeah,
But
make it count. You know.
yeah, I could make him I could trick him out, so to speak. But yeah, going back to Shane, he's just kept screaming "Hail Payman," trying to like rage Billy out and make him all scared and shit. But I was on Bill's side, dude. I was like, what the fuck? Dude, this guy's fucking insane. This isn't even a joke anymore. This motherfucker might be compromised.
Yeah.
And that just goes back to like anybody who's like famous or has like critical acclaim, probably just like a demon worshiping pedophile. Might as well just assume that's what they are.
Shh.
Do you want to pause the recording real quick? I should have pissed before we started.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sorry about that.
There.
Sorry about that, guys. We had to take a seminary podcast sponsored piss break. I've been chugging on this. So work, oh, there we go. Work, like they gave me like a gift card, and then it was my girlfriend's birthday, so she got like a free drink. So it was like I was like, oh fucking A. I woke up this morning with like a pounding headache, and I was like, Jesus. All right, I'll take you to fucking Dutch Bros. And we pull in, and she did like an online order, and she was like, oh, let's just go through the drive-through. And there's like 18 cars in the drive-through. There's two lanes of traffic at the drive-through at Dutch Bros. It's insane. And I'm listening to like Bad Religion, and that song "A Thousand More Fools" is playing. And I look in my rearview mirror, and I just see like the most like sad looking husband and like a wife with a triple chin in the passenger seat. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. I was like, they're probably a good looking couple 20 years ago, dude. And now they're 50 going to Dutch Bros. I was like, holy shit, dude, I gotta make a change. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if they see me back there again, I might get chewed out because the girl that handed us our drink, she had like that classic Valley Girl accent where she's like, okay, how you guys doing today? Thank you for coming to Dutch Bros. And like as soon as she gave me my drinks, I started mocking her and driving away. And I was like kind of yelling. I was kind of yelling out my window. I was like, everyone have a good rest of your day. And so
Well,
somebody screamed back at me. It was something to the lines of F you or whatever, like shut up. Somebody screamed like shut up or something at me. And I was like, all right, I gotta get out of here, dude. But it just brought on so much disdain for like, oh my God, dude. It's time to tighten up or get fat and unhappy. You, you either get straightened out or you get fat and unhappy. But
yeah.
I don't know. It was just
That
something.
once in a while, I'm not like, you know, supporting making fun of the way somebody talks all the time, and like obviously feel a little bit bad about it. Maybe you don't, but I probably would. But I've done stuff like that. But like the other day, I when I ride back from like Home Depot sometimes because there nobody rides bikes around here, and nobody
Mhm.
knows that you know
How to act
you have
around
rides
bikes.
or anything. Yeah, so I try to stay off the road all the time. So usually I'm coming back late enough. I ride through the golf course and nobody's there. I don't think there's a bigger as a sport. I don't think there's a bigger group of Batimon than golfers. You know what I
A
mean?
group of what? Of
A big group of Batimons than golfers.
the Batemans? What's a Bateman? Is it we
It's
speaking
a
patois out here?
yeah, it's a slur in patois, but it doesn't count because it's anyway. It's fun. I like to say it. Is a new
What is
word I
it?
learned.
What's the
Um,
like rough English translation of Bateman? Is a Bateman?
it's a butt man. Um,
Okay.
for a gay guy, but
It's
I
like the Italians they would say fanoik. He's a fanoik.
yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
okay.
not all golfers, but people who take golf like that seriously. And
Yeah.
so anyway, I ride through there, and I ride past the first group, and they're like, "Watch out!" And the second group, um, you know, what did they say? Like, I didn't know we gave out bike memberships. It's like, yeah,
Mm.
they're free, pussy.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Take
It felt
yeah.
good. It felt really good. Um, I
And
didn't,
those
I didn't,
guys
I
and
didn't
the guy
actually say
that
thank you, and I kept riding. But it felt good just to ride through and do that. Like I felt kind of bad about it, but it just gave me a little oomph, a little
that's a
spark
good
in
boost.
my day, just a little boost as I rode to the grocery store. You know,
Nice. I would enjoy that. And props to you for just saying thanks and riding past. That's honestly the deepest cut you could have given those guys. Was just like nonchalant, like whatever, bro. Bike pass is free if you take it. Fuck
yeah,
you.
yeah,
But honestly, those same guys that have like the moral obligation to call you out for riding your bike, that's the same girl. That's the same guy who's gonna tap the beer cart girl on the ass when she rides by. Yeah, let me get a Modelo, sweetie. Bah! Like those, like I don't know if they have cart girls over there, but um, it's just weird the dichotomy of these people where it's like, hey, you can't ride a bike out here, but I'm gonna go sexually harass the girl bringing us beers. That's
I
like
think that's I
apparently,
think those kind of people. It might honestly be those kind of people.
yeah, especially like older rich people. It seems like they just kind of don't care anymore. But
Right.
golf is probably the most pretentious sport ever. I used to golf with my grandpa, and he's a layman. He worked at a steel mill and a
Yeah.
refinery for most of his life, and he's like, you know what? I'm retired. It cost $18 to play like a round of golf. I'm gonna go do it. But some of these not some, but most of these golf cultures, a lot of the parts of it are just extremely pretentious,
Yeah,
outrageous. It's like, okay, it's the same idea as like everyone just has like a lawn made of grass. Nobody has any like wildflowers or any like vegetation, like real vegetation. It's like okay, we're gonna just mow down a couple acres and nothing's gonna grow. There's gonna be zero bugs, and we're just gonna fuck everything up. Just to walk around with your but if you want to go take a walk with your buddies, just go take a walk with your buddies, dude. You don't have to go fucking pretend you're playing golf, blah, blah, blah. And then I get a lot of videos about guys getting drunk and just like slamming their clubs into the ground when they fuck up.
that's nice. That's fun.
So it's like the whole attitude of these guys is just like, you know what? I might as well ride my 10 speed through this fucking golf course real quick. Like
Yeah.
it's
Take
that's the best way to fight the power.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure like golf could be fun, but like the people who are taking it that seriously, like, I mean, I was just bad at golf. We did it in Lifetime Sports once, and I was just bad, and I just fucked around the whole time, and people got mad at me, and I had a great time, but I get how it could be fun if took it seriously, but just people will take it too seriously. I don't know if there is a more pretentious sport. It's up there.
Maybe
It
tennis.
would have to be a sport, maybe tennis. But I
Because
feel
they
like
got
tennis,
the
anybody can get
ball.
it.
They got like
And
15-year-olds throwing them balls back and shit. You know what I mean? Like the ball
yeah,
boys and shit. Like that's the
maybe
weird part. And then screaming at the ref.
I think it's just a certain level of any sport, honestly. Um,
Yeah.
Especially one that has like a high, um, like you have to be at a certain financial level to get into it. Like skiing
Mm.
is starting to get real lame, you know? When I was a
Yeah.
kid, I could get out there, I get some rides to the ski hill, I could save up, I could get a pass for like $300. I'd go skiing. Not really anymore. And it's all getting bought out. You got to use I don't did I talk about this before? You got to use the RFID card because they everything you do they got to have your data for. Abermont
Mm.
have your data,
At the
and
ski hill?
yeah, like
What the
every
fuck?
till now you use the RFID card and they like track you and like buzz you in every time instead of like having the sticker passes or whatever. Um,
Huh.
so
It's
they're all
like what's the
system.
point of that except just control?
I don't know. I know it's a new Aeon. Um,
It's
but
the aeon of pretension.
yeah, it's there's and then it's oh, I should just have the facts on this and go through it later. But if you look up uh oh crap, I gotta find the name of this.
Like yeah,
There we go.
like okay, I'll start from the beginning because I think skiing used to be just like a tradition. If you wanted to get down the hill, you lived in that kind of climate, it was part of your family tradition. And then in the army, they would teach you how to do it in certain climates. Now it's like you got Asian people flooding into Alta wearing $500 ski suits. And like your kids are crying and they don't want to be there. It's like, no, we're a ski family. We have to take these trips. That's pretty
Yeah,
much what I saw when I was at Alta, was just like children crying and then like hundreds of dollars worth of like thermal gear.
yeah.
And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it just gets more and more expensive for less and less people, and then it's not really even about like skiing anymore. It's just like about like the image or something. Like that's why like skateboarding is cool because anybody can get a skateboard and go skating. Like if you could bring that back into skiing again more, then skiing would be cool. But it's starting to get lamer and gayer, and it's starting to get like Vale is buying up everything and like tracking you. And Rob Katz, just look up Rob Katz, the guy who runs Vale. Like get a good look at him. Like that he doesn't really care about he don't really care about the people. You know what I mean? Look up his background. Maybe I don't know what his religious beliefs are, but these are the type of people.
Hail payman. Hail payman.
Yeah, these are the kind of people that like you're reading, you be like, go, let's see who the CEO is. Let's read through this. And these are the kind of people that like look real nice. They're like the professional people. Oh wow. That
That's
is
an evil motherfucker right there.
that's a Bond villain. That's a James Bond villain. That guy was
Yeah,
in
dude.
was in that's a guy from No Time to Die.
That's Goldfinger, bro.
Yeah. Uh
He looks like an even version of Steven Seagal.
like a what
What?
version?
An evil version of Steven Seagal. When you see my new ski hill, you gonna have to change your underwear.
Yeah. Those are like you read this is the board of directors and they're like we have to make things more equitable and we have to help the homeless and make things more inclusive. Like they literally it sounds like American Psycho. It's like these are the kind of people who say all that shit and then their like main focus is like building a security state and like they're like
Yeah.
we have to help the homeless and we should also help like animals and make things more racially inclusive. And then they're like, why can't you get a fucking job? And they
Yeah, you
yeah,
know you stink like shit,
and,
right?
they yeah. I, I was never able to. Have you ever seen American Psycho?
Yeah, that's I was quoting. It's like, you know you stink like shit, right? Why don't you
Is,
get a job?
is that when he
Like that's
stepped?
what yeah, that's what
Yeah,
Rob Katz is doing after dinner with his buddies.
yeah,
He's walking home and he's like, "Oh, homeless man, let me go mutilate him and his dog."
yeah,
Which I've been getting back into like the Epstein money trail and just realizing is like, anybody who has money is probably just like killing poor people in some type of capacity, whether it be
yeah,
torturing or taking them to an island and sexually assaulting them or whatever. But it's like, yeah, rich people probably like, especially when I go to Albertsons and I use the self checkout line, and it's like the lady watching the self checkout, making sure nobody's stealing. She's like, she's not really looking at that old lady over there, but when she sees me, she's really fucking. She's standing 3 feet away from me, and she's like staring into my soul. Like, if you steal that pack of water right now, I swear to God, we're pressing charges. And so it's like I make them feel uncomfortable the way they make me feel uncomfortable. Like last time I had it was just like it was a pack of water and then a thing of toilet paper. So it's like obviously I'm gonna use the self checkout. I go up to the self checkout and this lady's staring at me. And I'm like, I take the scanner gun. I'm like, I told her, I was like, look, beep. I was like, got it. And she like turns around and just like leaves me alone. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna steal. I know I look like a bum. I'm not gonna steal. All right. If anything, I look like Libyan royalty. All right. Muammar Gaddafi is my biological father.
yeah. You look like the lion.
I'm willing to admit, dude, the lion. If like, yeah, I'm the lion's cub right now, bro. I'm the lion's cub. That's the name of this episode, the lion's cub.
Yeah. I'm gonna start getting more into like extremists and well, I mean they're not that extreme, but the people that they say are the extremists, the Gaddafis, I've been listening to I stumbled across the I don't know if you've heard of the artist Malcolm X on Spotify.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about the man, Malcolm X. Malcolm.
No, it is the man. He just has a profile on Spotify of like his speeches and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, yeah, pretty good stuff. He's got some good ideas in there, you know?
Yeah, dude. I mean, if Malcolm X was a lesser man, he'd be smashing those white girls, those snow bunnies to death.
Yeah.
But that's how you know. That's how you know. I don't. I don't. When you said Malcolm X, the first thing I thought of was that lady that went up to talk to me. He's like, "What can I do as a white girl to help the Negroes or whatever?" Because it was back in the day, they still said the word Negro, and he's like, you can't. He's like, you can't do nothing.
No, you can't do nothing.
That's what he said to the white girl. He's like, nothing. The best thing you could do is leave us the fuck alone. Like if he was a lesser man, he's like, what you could do right now is come back to my hotel room.
Yeah,
But you know what?
but that's what Martin would have done. You know?
Scarelli?
No, Martin Luther King, the guy everybody remembers. You got to look at the guy everybody remembers versus the guy who everybody says is an extremist. And then you got to look and go, okay, one guy, you know, had this guy over here. I'm not going to say what race, what religion he is, write his speeches for him and was like, we all like need to unite or whatever. And, you know, we can all bang each other. And then the other guy was like, listen, we don't need anything to do with you until you're going to give us what we're owed. And until then, we're not going to pay taxes and we're not going to go fight in your wars. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. But that guy was the extremist, you know, and he was also like, if you're going to make a problem for us, we're going to, you know, we just want to be left alone and we're going to have guns. Like, it sounds like the most based, you know,
I actually
guy ever, but it's, you know, if people actually listen to it.
I used to really be into I honestly forgot it since I just now remember it. I can't really remember his name, but like the original Black Panther Party, I did rock with what they were saying. They had their own healthcare system, they had their own supermarkets, and you know they were armed to protect themselves against like you know what all these evil white guys. What was the Emmett Hill? Just getting falsely accused of raping white women. And like, obviously, you'd want to have just like, all right, bro, we'll get out of here. We'll leave you guys the fuck alone. Just leave us the fuck alone. Like, leave us alone, please.
Yeah, you gotta. I think just in general, you gotta look at, not what the individual looks like or what their movement claims to represent. You got to look at, you know, what are the actions, what is actually being said, and what underlying forces do they actually represent. It's like, you know, Trump is just kind of like subconsciously, mentally, for most people at like a, you know, kind of low level, they're like, oh, he's like this crazy right-wing guy. We don't really think about it. Really, he's like, guns are woke. And, you know, that's the narrative now. So it's like, you got to look at what, you know, if you just looked at it from okay, here's the sides and here's who these groups represent, you would go, okay, there's like it really doesn't make a lot of sense if you actually looked into the details. But if you went, okay, actually, guys, I think there's lizard people, and I think there's Abramonic forces and demons.
I believe in Hollow Earth and
Agartha.
Yeah,
and Agartha, and I think
Space Penguin.
You know, there's deep underlying forces that are represented on a surface level by all sorts of what would be the word? I guess like all sorts of characters and avatars on
Avatar is the word
on our plane, and they appear as all sorts of different people to cast their spells and trick you and deceive you. When really look at the forces, you would go, the same people who, the same forces. The forces are the same between the people who told you, you got to stay in your house and you got to, take this medicine and you got this and that. And
we got to keep track of you at all times. We got to make sure you're not going outside.
Yeah, we got to keep track of you at all times. Those forces are the same as the ones who are like, actually, you're not gonna be allowed to. It's like, you're not gonna be allowed to.
My communist neighbor's stepping out for.
You're not gonna be allowed to. Oh, my bad. You're
not gonna be allowed to. You're not
they're
gonna be
the
allowed
same
to.
Forces as this. All the people get all riled up about the ice stuff and whatever, and like this side or that side. It's like, look at the underlying forces. All the ice stuff is like a problem reaction solution to be like, we have to track everybody and you have to stay home and you have to do this
It's a catalyst.
for your safety, you have to do this and you can't be outside, and that way we could avoid all this violence and stuff, and we could get you used to you know doing all this stuff that's really not right, but you'll allow us to do it. You'll allow us to say, no, maybe you shouldn't have guns and that's dangerous because it aligns with like some of your other political beliefs, because it's represented by these characters that you think align with you. Like
Yeah.
they
And the guns are woke thing is just like absurd, like
yeah,
absurd.
they can get a lot of people who really wouldn't identify with the underlying forces, with the underlying agenda, which is control, to agree and go along with them because it aligns
Their
with
previous superstitions, or
right.
like not superstitions, but like indentations in their brain is the only way I could think to word it. You got
Yeah,
these the previously known lizards that have embedded their teeth into your brain. It's like,
yeah.
oh shit, Trump is woke now, dude. I'm gonna go watch Melania, the Melania autobiography.
I know I had a point I was gonna make and then I lost halfway through. We gotta cut that. We gotta cut that out. Uh Damn, what were we just talking about?
Just emotions and attacking the emotions of the disgusting
Oh,
public.
right, right. So, not only can you get people confused with like what I ideas they identify with, but also like, can you get them to like I'm thinking down the line when the whole when and I mean this is real. This is also, remember, it's FUD to shake you out in the meantime, but this is very real, like it's happening. All the Technate stuff that everybody's been
that
talking, it
that
is.
we feared most,
And
honestly.
the people in power are like, I mean, you know, President Trump says the current financial system is outdated, will soon be replaced with a new state-of-the-art cryptocurrency framework under the new structure bill. The entire financial system could go on-chain, powered by crypto. So, you know,
Fuck that, dude. Like
when
when
that,
I
and obviously this is going to be bad. Obviously, whether you're religious or not, and you're like, this is the mark of the beast system, it's bad. It's not going
the
to.
gates of hell are opening up, and we will slowly start to see the
Yeah,
consequences.
but they have most people so confused, um and wanting to be so distracted, wanting to be so outside of themselves, because it's hard to like stay that conscious and in the world all the time, that they're just gonna walk themselves into it. You don't have to
Yeah.
round everybody up and put them in camps and get them to you know join the join your dystopia. They'll walk themselves right into it for the most,
Yeah.
because they have also tapped into that emotion of people's social media and their community there, that they're not going to want to leave. They're not, even if it's not right, they're not going to want to leave um, their social status. They're not going to want to leave that. They're not going to want to leave whatever their financial status was. If they're not prepared there, they'll go, okay, I
Yeah.
lost my dollars in the bank, but I'll take your new crypto stuff, sir.
And
Just
I want to say, like,
spare
like
me.
nothing.
Like, you don't need any of this stuff. Like, you could go out and, you know, I,
Like nothing is literal anymore.
build
So it's like these
your
people don't want to leave their little ecosystem that they built for themselves, this self-sustaining ecosystem and this echo chamber of a like this. It's a world. It's a new world. It's like the simulacra. It's like this map that's an overlay of the real world, but you've perfected it to what you really want it to be. And people don't want to leave that anymore. And like a lot of the stuff we're talking about is like there's not going to be a real internment camp where people are actually like starving and held in a POW prison. but the new internment camp is in your mind, and it's symbolic of an internment camp. It's not literal. And so it's like this
Yeah.
ecosystem is not literal, but it's like it's self-sustaining and it keeps you alive. What'd you say?
No, I think you're right, but I do worry that there's gonna have to be a camp for about 15% of you, and we got you. We know who you are. We're watching. Because I forget what the name of it, but it was like Operation
Who's
whatever.
the wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Who's the 15%? I actually just realized I don't know who the 15% is. Is it Jews or is it blacks? Or is it chinks?
The 15% are just like the people who would rebel.
I thought it was like a racial thing.
No, 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 no.
That
It's
just shows you where my mind's at.
so
Hold on. Okay, we got to take another 7-8 podcast sponsored piss break. I apologize, people.
okay.
I've been chugging these energy drinks, but I feel fucking
Back.
I feel
I'll finish up with that.
Would you go take a Did you okay, I took a piss in my bathroom. Did you just go take a piss behind the gas station?
No, I went into the gas station.
Okay.
It was.
Man,
I don't
bold
think
move
I've
leaving your phone
tried.
on the table.
What is it?
Bold move leaving your phone on the table.
I I mean, what is somebody gonna do with my phone if they steal it?
I guess finish the podcast because I'm not fucking calling this thing off. But this
I
quote right here, I just posted on my Instagram. Free speech is my right to say what you don't want to hear.
Yeah,
That's swag. That's swag. That's Atlantis too. That
there were
is
there were like 16 of those George Orwell quotes. Like every one of them, I was like,
Oh, that was Orwell? That was
He's hit.
Orwell?
Yeah. Um, but I don't think I've ever fully dried my hands in a hand dryer. That was like the first time. That was a great hand dryer. Um, I don't remember this name of the gas station, but anyway,
Shouts out.
yeah, shouts out.
Um, Hand dryers are kind of disgusting, in my opinion.
The hand
Um,
dryer, the air blower,
yeah. What
they're
are you
just
gonna do? What are you gonna blow hot ass bathroom air onto my hands? And
uh,
I was thinking about this the other day. I was ranting to my manager. I was like, how does it? I was like, how does because the at nighttime when the drivers come in, there's one driver he's a veteran, so salute that guy. Shout out my boy Jason. Jason, I love you to death, bro. You my boy.
mm-hmm.
He's an ex-veteran, not ex-veteran. I guess you can't be an ex-veteran. He was in the I'm pretty sure the Marines. Um, but shouts out that guy. But all the other drivers, they're like 18 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and they just spend like at least 30 minutes in the bathroom at a time. Like I'll be mopping the floor and this guy will walk through where I just mopped, go to the bathroom, and I'll be like, damn, bro, he's been in there for a minute. And it's almost like 30 to 45 minutes at a time. How do you spend so much time with aerosolized poop in the air? Like you're gonna sit on the toilet and just let everyone else's shit air
That's
just
true.
float up into your nostrils.
That's
And it's
disgusting.
and so my idea with the hand warmer is like, oh, the hot air makes it sanitary. No, it doesn't. It's just
Uh,
lube. It's just like 98-degree hot ass blowing
it's
onto your hands.
those little bacterias or whatever to bloom in there. Yeah, you're right.
I do like the Dyson ones,
That's
honestly.
that.
I
Yeah,
do trust the Dyson ones.
it was probably a Dyson, but it's kind of cold out, so I was like, I'm gonna fully dry my hands.
Did it honestly, yeah. And honestly, shouts out for you, being out in the cold right now, supporting the podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Something I wanted to bring up.
I'm about to go get in a fight at the golf course right now. I'm feeling good. I've
Dude, fuck the golf course. Fuck
yeah,
anybody who golfs.
like I've we're gonna do this. We're gonna build a glorious future, and if I have to, fight a couple people at the golf course on the way there, that's fine. That's fine. I'm ready.
I think we should just have driving ranges. Because when I used to go with my grandpa, we'd hit the putting green. And so it's like we'd have like a competition who could who could like shit, like you know how you have the little wedge where you're like you're really close to the green, so it's like the short-ish grass. And so what you
Mhm.
do is you hit it with your wedge, and you just kind of hit it up in the air and it bounces, and then you start putting. Me and my grandpa would have competitions to see who could like hit it in the shortest amount of times. And like that's wholesome. And then we'd go to the driving, we'd buy a it's like $1. You get a bucket full of golf balls and you just see how straight and how far you could hit it down the line. And that's wholesome. Me and my grandpa would have little competitions like that. And I loved it. And I love him to death, honestly. I kind of want to say my grandpa has ADHD, and probably so do I, but we just get along, bro. We just tell each other stories all day.
Hell yeah.
I love my grandpa to death. Shouts out my grandpa Kenny, bro. My grandpa Kenny, he's the man. Um, but that's wholesome. But like all these like you got like a $100 coat on, and you got like $1,200 worth of golf clubs and your little golf cart, and you hitting it, and you hit it into the trees, and you start slamming your golf club into the ground, and you start harassing the beer cart lady because obviously, so maybe at this golf club you're talking about, I don't know how nice it is, but at the nicer ones, they have these hot little 18-year-olds, you know, they deliver you snacks and beers on the golf course.
Hmm.
Those girls are getting assaulted. It's like the same idea of Hooters. Like you get a bunch of drunk guys at Hooters, they're gonna start smacking the ass of the little waitress, and it's like that's why Hooters went bankrupt. And I'm like, if one guy starts buying out all the golf courses the same way Goldfinger's buying out all the ski hills,
Yeah.
I'm hoping they go bankrupt. I hope they file Chapter 7 and lose all their business. Because
I'm gonna
it's the
have to
same.
watch. I'm gonna have to
I don't
watch.
know.
What does he do?
Um, what was the other guy you said? I forget. That was just the only Bond villain I could remember the name of, but I know there's a couple guys. Since I'm such poor white trash, I'm mainly versed in like the Austin Powers movies and not as much into the James Bond movies.
Yeah.
But um,
Um. Yeah.
what's the other guy's name? Odd Job, or the guy with the hat where he throws it and it's like a sharp ass hat. What's that guy's name?
He's a good guy or bad guy?
A bad guy. He has like the hat, and
Huh.
he's like the Asian guy with the hat, and he fucking throws it and it's like a blade.
Oh.
Fuck. Okay, let's get past that. I wanted to talk about when
We're getting back.
when we started recording again. I started talking about, it's like how the people were telling me to shut up at Dutch Bros because I was making fun of that girl, how she talked.
Huh.
This one time, so you remember when I told you about a Pocatello, those that one guy got shot, the autistic kid with cerebral palsy got shot like
Yeah.
19 times. So there's a lot of protests about that in
Uh,
this town. And that was around the same time there was protesters for Israel Palestine. And I got so tired of seeing the Israel Palestine protesters that I started flipping them the bird. And so I drove past these protesters. I couldn't read what their sign said, but I stuck my hand out, and the whole way I was like flipped on the bird. And then I read this sign. It was like justice for the kid who got shot 19 times by the cops.
oh.
I was like, oh no, I messed
I mean,
up.
those are
I
pretty.
messed up.
Um.
And so
Well,
I
both
imagine
of those are
somebody
actually really bad, and they're kind of just evil. But I think overall you did a good thing because you fueled
hatred.
their hatred, and you know reasonably they should have hatred, and they should want a better world. And I think
I
if
like the way you think about it.
fuel that in a non-violent way, maybe overall that's a good thing. There's
I
levels
like
to this. So hey,
honestly, yeah. I figure if they see me as some guy who like supports the local PD and was like hating on them for protesting against like violence against an autistic child, and like
uh,
that makes them push the cause further. But well, the way I saw it was like they're hopping on Facebook like, if you see a Ford Taurus with Lemhi County plates, I want you to kill that motherfucker. Like that's the way I saw it. I was like, oh shit, dude, I'm gonna get fucked up real soon.
there's gonna be Facebook groups about you.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
could be the move. Could be the move. I'll start commenting on them and linking them to the podcast and be like, no, guys, I'm really a good guy. But if you
yeah.
watch the podcast, you realize like I'm not really that good of a guy. But I think I'm based. You don't have to be a good guy to be based. Like the
That's
like the last like the last episode that I was editing, I haven't dropped it yet. That quote really makes me want to drop that episode because I was like, yeah, these gay people with a child, that really made me uncomfortable. And then like a bunch of other shit that was like really like I could if they found out if they like I'm glad that it just has your name on the podcast right now because if they found out who Anthony fuck it, I don't care really. Anthony Aragon, if they start doxing me and calling my work and shit and got me fired, I'd be like, oh shit. But I work at Pizza Hut. I've been getting drunk at the Pizza Hut, honestly.
I
Should we get into that? So thank
don't think
God.
you're drunk at work, but that sounds nice.
Like, well, not really drunk, but I get a little buzz going and it helps. Because I got this girl, she's talking to me about raves and how her best friend is like having sex with this guy and stuff. And I'm like, sober me is like sober me would fucking probably sock this bitch in the mouth. But drunk me is like, that's not really my style. Could you please stop talking to me? And then she goes away. But sober me has enough anger in him, he'd be like, probably just throw it all away. So it's the thing about tolerance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I kind of got off on a little bit of a tangent there. I do have a
Are,
list of
are
things I kind of want to talk about.
enforcing the the moral standards and the level that we need to be at Pizza Hut? That's what it sounds like, and I like that. You know,
Mm.
you're
And then
like what was her story? What was she talking about?
she's talking about how her best friend was like having sex with this guy, and then like this drama, just bullshit. I wasn't really listening, but it had something to do with her friend having sex with this guy, and I was like, I don't want to hear about this. I don't
I
give.
like
I could care less.
I like what you're doing here because I think this is what we have to do as Atlanteans. Can we maybe eventually bring order and justice to the world? Yes, but
Possibly.
it's going to take time. We can't just go out there. I know there's evil in the world. You can't go out there and crash out. This may take a long time. This may take generations to do. You got to focus on your individual area in life. You got to focus on your metaphorical Pizza Hut. You got to go in there every day like Anthony does, and you got to tell those drivers, you got to tell these kids in there on their goddamn phones in the
Sitting on the toilet.
you
Yeah.
got to go in there and you got to say, you kids better get off your TikToks, get out of that shit air, go get outside and deliver these pizzas. We got to keep this glorious future running. We got to make it to the kingdom of heaven. You gotta stop talking about this debauchery and bringing this darkness, this
Yeah.
the evil forces into our community. And that's what you have to do. You got to say, hey, and maybe people are gonna dislike you at first because of that. That's fine. If you gotta be that guy, pal. You know?
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Do
and
it because it's hard, not because it's easy.
you gotta, yeah, you gotta know that you're really about the, bringing the truth and justice to the world, and
Mm.
sticking to it, and eventually, people are going to respect that. And I think it's like, I used to be like, I don't want like the wrong people to get in here. I don't think the wrong people are going to get in there, not like a large percentage of them. I mean, we'll build
Mhm.
up our good core group to start with, and I think we already have that to some extent, and there's a couple more people coming on, but it's like most people I share this to, I try to get this out to, they just don't. Um,
Mhm.
and it's kind of like many are called, few are really chosen. We don't even have to choose them. The right people will join
Swag.
the thing. We don't have to. I don't think right now we have to worry about the wrong people getting into it. We just have to get as many people as we can, and try to prepare for what's going to happen. And
And if the wrong people do get involved, they'll get weeded out through the process of elimination. You know,
yeah,
they'll get bored, they'll get discontented, they'll forget about the Discord and
yeah,
leave. So I'm a hypocrite because honestly, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too distracted, but this is the start of a new era. I'm not going to start talking about all that. This is the start of a new era. We're going to get back in. I'm going to get back into it. We're going to go hard. This is it. This is it. 2026 is the year. I don't
the
want to
year of
start.
the
I don't want
bull.
to start talking about all my flaws.
You know what I mean?
The
This is
year of the what did you say? The year of the bullfrog?
this is the year of the fire horse.
Oh, the fire horse.
We're coming out of the wood snake year. I don't know what all this means. I'm not into like I think there is something to all the stars and symbols and people's signs and all that, but not like the mainstream version of it that you know most like girls get into or whatever, or not just
Yeah,
what I mean. But I'm
girls in the mental sense.
in a mental sense, right? Um,
You're acting like a girl right now, dude. No, so you got to start telling people. It's like you're acting like a broad right now.
yeah. No, I mean, uh, no, I think that anima is very important. I do want to go back on some of the stuff I've said, and you know, if there's dumb aspects of the animus too. There's just they're representative of different things. It's not really like all encompassing of you know any group. Um, but the Chinese shit, I can get into that. That sounds cool. They got cool symbols. They got they got cool animals, and they got
Oh, the Chinese horoscope, like the year of the monkey.
yeah, yeah,
I can
and
get into that too. Chinese people were the earliest civilization. They're the first people to domesticate chickens. All
yeah,
right. I wouldn't take what they say lightly.
they invented the fucking toothbrush. Okay,
They invented the fucking gunpowder.
yeah,
They got this whole shit started.
yeah. So I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna say maybe they have some credibility. Maybe it is the fire horse year, and it's a year for bold action. It may not be the bold action I was intending to do, but I think it's the bold action that we need. I think we went through that wood snake year, and we figured out a lot of the stuff we needed to. It's a year for change and growth and shedding.
And
Um,
slithering through these suburban streets like a python.
and yeah, we're now we head into the flames.
This
And
is the year of the fire horse, but it's the decade of the pale horse.
yeah, yeah, there might be something there too. Next year is the year of the goat, though. That's our year. Pretty sure you 2003.
2004.
Oh dang, that's it.
That
That's
was the last. That was the last good year that they manufactured people. Was 2004.
2004. What's that
That
year?
was, I think the year of the monkey.
Year of the monkey. That's a good one. I
Which I've been kind of getting into evolution.
evolution.
Well, like home like well, okay. I'm not denouncing God. Obviously,
I
I've
feel
actually become more Gnostic than ever. So I don't want to say this is sacrilegious, but there was people that were like humanoids.
there were hobbits. Yeah,
Hominids, yeah, the early hominids, the humanoids, the pre-sapiens. Before we were Homo sapien, we were Homo fucking
I
Homo smash each other's brains out with stone axes.
I wasn't homo nothing, but yeah, there were probably hobbits and different types of people back then.
Yeah, honestly, my lineage, my entire family, we weren't Homo anything. We were hetero sapien,
Yeah.
hetero hominids. Uh, we're chowing down on monkey. You know
Uh
what I mean? We're chowing down on that monkey. But honestly, I'm getting back into the real world. It's not smoking the ganja. We're getting into the real shit right now. My goal for tomorrow is I want to put my dirt bike back together and I want to go spray oil all over the Pizza Hut
spray oil.
because I ride a two-stroke, so your gas is mixed with oil,
Ah,
and my muffler doesn't like the baffle system in my muffler is totally just blown to shit. Like my muffler's like 2 years old, so it doesn't have any kind of like suppression. So it's loud as fuck and it just sprays all the oil out of my fucking exhaust. So I'm just gonna ride my dirt bike and spray oil all over the fucking the Pizza Hut. But that's my main goal tomorrow. Is like I have to ignore the clutter. I have to ignore the dishes. I have to ignore the cat hair in the corners and just really get into putting my carburetor back together and figuring out how all these hoses connect back together and then just ride my dirt bike like a free man. All right, but that's focus. You have
mhm.
to ignore all these little distractions and get back to the real shit, which is disrespecting the place you work at.
Or elevating it to a new level. That's what it sounded like you were doing. But also just
No,
being,
no, honestly, that's just the vibe for tomorrow. That's just what we're gonna do tomorrow. Is just get the pizza a
oh,
little
that,
dirty. But
I
but
guess wasn't
everyday life.
a good description. I guess more what you're doing in terms of the Pizza Hut is you're saying, maybe the structure that we currently live in isn't great, but we're going to use this to harden the individuals, the people that we have here.
Yeah,
We're gonna turn you uh into warriors for the Atlantean Jihad, you know, um,
yeah.
and
Inshallah, brother, we will succeed.
we are gonna make the times here a little tougher for you. We are gonna bring a little chaos in, but
Yeah, we're
through
gonna
th-
harden you up.
through that, um, you will rise with us into the glorious future.